What's growing on, gardeners? It's December, and on today's video I'm coming to you from my homestead property in north central Florida. And on today's video I'm going to have a big homestead update. I'm going to check on the things I planted last year to see if they survived, and of course I'm going to plant a few new things as well.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out my Amazon store and Spreadshop links in the video description for everything I use in my garden and awesome custom apparel and gear.
If you're not a regular viewer of my channel, here's a little bit of history. Back in the fall of 2023, I purchased a small vacant lot in north central Florida, Zone 9B, a little bit less than 4 acres, with the intention of turning this land into a future homestead property years down the road. Now, I currently live just outside of Wilmington, North Carolina in Zone 8B. So for all of those interested, we have family that lives and moved to the Wilmington area, so we're not in a big rush to leave anytime soon, but the lot and land I intend to use on something like a 3 to 5 year horizon timeline from roughly about now. But while I don't have any plans to live on this property right at the moment, when I do move here years in the future, I don't want it to be a completely blank canvas. I want a few things that are growing and established on this property, so when I do move to it, I'll have some fruit to harvest. So I've been coming down here periodically every 6 to 12 months, and I've been planting a few things on the property. Now, I've been specifically choosing very hardy, tough plants to plant out on this property because basically I've been planting them completely unsupervised, and I'm only allowing them to establish based on the elements. So the only way they can get watered is rain, and if any weeds crowd them out, oh well, I guess they're not going to survive. So over the years, I've planted several different fruit trees, and I need to take a look at them first and see if they actually survive before I plant anything new on this property. Now, I haven't been to this property for a year, and surprise, surprise, everything was so overgrown, I actually had trouble finding the fruit trees that I planted. So I actually have to take my weed whacker and I have to clear the brush away just to access the trees. In this corner right here is the Giambo persimmon I planted at this point nearly 2 years ago, and it looks pretty pathetic. And at first when I looked at it, I had feared the worst. It looked dead. But then I remembered, oh yeah, north central Florida got one of the earliest frost and freezes ever recorded this year, so it's possible it got so cold that maybe it actually got a frost here, or it got cold enough that it defoliated the tree, because after all, it is a deciduous tree. But it is alive, it is pliable, it feels springy. It's just not doing too well because it's growing without any fertilizer, any regular irrigation, so it's struggling to establish. And all of these Florida vines, well, they are out competing it because these nuisance weeds are on another level. And then we have a similar situation with the 2 fruit trees that we planted over here last year. This is my Smith fig tree. It really hasn't grown at all. However, it is still alive. And it's obviously got itself a case of fig rust, but that's okay because once again, it is a deciduous tree, so we expect something like this to happen at this point in the year. And then over here is the Takaka feijoa, also known as the pineapple guava. This one looks the best in terms of growth, but it also looks like it has some kind of disease on it. I'm not quite sure what's going on, if this limb is dying back and has some kind of funk. This is an evergreen tree, so it should not be exhibiting these characteristics. And of course, I didn't bring pruning shears with me. That wasn't smart. So it is alive, it is growing, it is hanging on, but it's not looking great. And somewhere around here I also planted a holiday avocado tree, but unfortunately it was ripped out when this area got a glancing blow from a hurricane about maybe 4 to 6 weeks after I planted it last year. It got pulled right out because it was too large of a tree and it hadn't anchored itself yet. My neighbors unfortunately let me know that. Very sad story. So that tree is a total loss. But as they say, I guess 3 out of 4 ain't bad. At least most of the stuff survives. So now I need to clean them up and give them some compost and some fertilizer, and hopefully that will prepare them for new growth in the spring. I'm also going to plant some bananas. I have a dwarf Namwa banana here and a dwarf Orinoco banana. These are both pups that I pulled out of my yard and potted them up specifically to plant here. So I went around to all of my trees and I put down some contractor's paper around them all, and that will act as a biodegradable temporary weed mat. And I'm holding that contractor's paper down with some natural cow manure compost. So this is the Smith fig tree that you see right here. That contractor's paper will provide it a little bit of protection where hopefully it won't have to compete with any weeds for a few months. Same thing with the feijoa that you see right here. And then over here we've done the same thing with our persimmon. So now that we have the temporary weed matting in place, I brought a bag of an all-purpose organic fertilizer, and I'm going to put a few handfuls around the immediate root area of all of these trees, because I'm going to assume these roots haven't branched out very far. So this is going to be the only actual fertilizing these trees have ever gotten. All they've gotten to this point was compost. And I'm going to do the same exact thing to my fig tree and my feijoa tree. And now that I've put down fertilizer around all 3 of the existing trees, I'm also going to top that area with about 1 to 2 inches of compost. And this compost is both going to hold down that contractor's paper to act as a temporary weed matting, and it's also going to facilitate the breakdown of that organic fertilizer, and all of those nutrients should be locked into place in late winter for these trees, because believe it or not, these trees are going to be waking up in probably only about 2 months or so, because everything breaks really quickly around Central Florida. And here is the finished product with our feijoa tree. This looks beautiful. Same thing with our fig. It is looking very good, ready to take on another growing season. And I hope and pray that this little boost will give the persimmon exactly what it needs to finally have a breakout year and grow a little bit. As much as I make these videos for all of you, I also make these videos for me too, to help keep a record of where I'm putting everything, because it's basically impossible to remember all of this stuff, and I can't really tag anything because it'll get destroyed here. So I've decided I'm going to put the dwarf Orinoco banana up front, because it's a little bit more cold tolerant, and I'd rather have the dwarf Namwa, which is more frost sensitive, planted more under this canopy. This corner right here may be a little bit better protected from the cold than over here, if this spacing really makes any difference at all. Now that being said, you may also be asking yourself the question, he's got all of this land. Why is he planting everything right up against each other, only a few feet apart, just like he does like when he's planting things in his small suburban backyard? And the answer to that question, well, there's a few answers to that question. Number one, my neighbor periodically mows this lot, so I want to keep everything isolated to a corner. That way it will allow him the freedom to mow everything and keep the grass and weeds under control and keep any trees and things like that from establishing in the lot. And I want everything out of the path of the mower. The second reason is, well, I don't exactly know where anything is going to go in this lot. I don't know where I'm going to be able to build a house. Maybe it will have to go over here because of the contours and the drainage and the final grading plan of the lot. I have no idea. So I'm pressing everything I possibly can over into a corner like this. That way I have the least amount of chance that what I'm planting is going to interfere with any future construction plans. And last but not least, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've never owned a significant amount of land before. I don't actually have any experience homesteading on a significant plot like I have here. So for that reason, I'm just trying to figure out things as I go along. I'm just digging these holes in areas that don't have any roots in them. I mean, I tried digging the holes back here and I was just getting pine tree roots everywhere. So I'm kind of relegated to the spots that didn't have any interference from roots. So I have my holes dug, and these plants, I actually want to plant them ever so slightly high, worst case flush with the soil line. And that's what that is right now. So that plant hole looks pretty good. This plant hole for the dwarf Orinoco, looks like I overdug it a little bit. We'll fill that back in. Make sure none of those tree roots go back in the hole. Make sure I don't accidentally put any rocks in the hole either. And that looks pretty good as well. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add fertilizer to the planting holes. I'm going to backfill the bananas. I'm going to put down some contractor's paper to make sure I keep the area somewhat weed-free for several months. And then I will place the compost on top to hold that contractor's paper down and provide nutrients for the trees when they eventually emerge in the spring. And look what I just found behind the bananas I just planted. It's my old avocado tree that got ripped out of the ground. It has mostly composted. That got pulled out of the ground by that glancing blow from the hurricane. Sorry, buddy. I guess we'll have to try again another day with something that isn't quite so top heavy. So here is the final product. We have our Giambo persimmon that we have now prepped for the next growing season. We have our two new bananas. We have the dwarf Orinoco that is growing closer to the field, and then next to it we have the dwarf Namwa that gets a little bit more protection from the canopy of trees above. Our Smith fig has been prepped for the new season. As is the Takaka Feijoa. I just hope that that damaged branch isn't some kind of disease that will spread the rest of the season. So all in all, I did the best I could with what I have, and the plants are as prepped as they possibly can be for the new growing season. At least I think so. And here is a panning overview of the entry-level food forest that I installed in the corner of my Florida homestead property. Now, I know that a lot of these plants are going to continue to struggle to establish because they're basically on their own in soil that's basically sand, and they're not getting irrigation and they're not getting fertilizer, and they're competing with the existing roots of some of the plants that are growing natively. But I selected these very hardy varieties for a reason, because they are tough plants that can take it where others fail. So while they may not all be successful, I think some of them will take, and over the next 3 to 5 years before I move here, I think they will grab hold, and at least some of them will do fairly well. Now, situation normal, I didn't bring enough compost. I was 1 or 2 bags short, but unfortunately I fit as many bags as I possibly could in the back of my truck, because the real purpose of taking this trip down to Florida was not to visit my property. It was actually to take Dale on a vacation, his first true vacation, where we took him all over Daytona Beach and the surrounding areas. And I have so many incredible adventures with Dale that are going to be at the end of all of the upcoming episodes coming up. I think you're really going to enjoy them if you're a big Dale fan. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that most of the things that I planted have survived. We only had 1 casualty so far, and I think bananas are overall one of the easiest things to grow in Central Florida. So I expect these to take hold and to grow more easily where others fail. So for all of the Florida residents out there that thought this video may finally be the announcement that I'm packing up and moving to Florida, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm also extremely flattered that so many of you are looking forward to me moving down here one day. I am definitely looking forward to it as well. I dream about this land literally every day of my life multiple times. It's just we have family in the Wilmington area, and you all know that live in Florida and the surrounding areas, the cost to build has gone up so ginormously over the last few years that it's just going to take longer than initially promised. But hey, a way that you can help me is by hitting the like button and sharing this video with your friends and leaving a comment. Those interactions go a long way. Little things like that, if everybody were to do it, well, it would help me pick up and move even more quickly. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and please ring the notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. If you have any questions about the plants that I planted or about my homestead property in general, ask a comment and I'll do my best to address them as soon as I can in the greatest capacity that I can. For everything that I use in my yard and garden and around this homestead the most, I'll place direct links to those products down in the video description for your convenience. For everything else I use in real life in my yard and garden, that is all linked in my Amazon storefront. So expand the video description, click on the Amazon storefront link, you'll see everything I use in real life. And while you're down there, check out my website, themillennialgardener.com, for all things gardening and custom merch if you want to support my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see all of you again on the next video. Where are we right now? We're in sunny Florida. We took Dale on a long car ride for a trip so we can get slightly warmer temperatures and get more sniffs in an interesting place. We're in Central Florida and it is beautiful. This is around Daytona Beach, right, Dale?
Don't forget to leave those females, Dale.
Yeah, he's been having so much fun. This was about as far south as we could make it into a single car ride. Any further than this, and it would have been unbearable. This was about 8 or 9 hours. But Dale was so good in the car, and we're going to go on so many different walks and have so many different sniffs, right, buddy? All right, let's figure out where we're at.